Hey, let's spend a couple minutes talking about when do I have to get my 80% lower engraved. There is a great misnomer out there involving ATF's new final rule 2021 R-05F, better known as their new rule on frames and receiver, in particular as it relates to partially complete or unfinished frames of receivers, or what the rest of us call 80% lowers. Now, those firearms, when completed, are now called privately made firearms, or PMFs, under this new federal rule making. The question that all of you have is, if you have a personally or privately made firearm, which was made from an incomplete, unfinished frame or receiver, that is, you now have a firearm without a serial number, when do you have to take that firearm out to get serialized under ATF's new rule? The answer is you don't, unless that firearm ends up in the inventory of an FFL. In passing these rules, the ATF specifically stated in their summary report, the final rule amends the regulations to require all FFLs to identify, mark any PMF that they take into their inventory. That is correct. So unless your firearm, your personally made, privately made, unserialized, untraceable firearm, is taken to an FFL and checked into inventory, that is, it is staying at least 1 day or more, staying overnight essentially, then the FFL will be required by federal rule to mark and serialize that firearm. However, only the FFL is required to do that. You, the lawful and responsible gun owner, is not. The ATF further commented by stating, licensees who take a PMF into inventory are required to mark the PMF with an individual serial number. And then what if you just drop your firearm off at an FFL for a couple of hours to do some quick work and you pick it up the same day? Are FFLs required to serialize in that circumstance? The answer is no. The ATF specifically stated, notably, licensees are not required to mark PMFs received for same-day adjustment or repair and return to the person from whom it was received. So the bottom line is that unless your otherwise privately made, unserialized, and untraceable firearm has to go into the inventory of an FFL under federal law, or in this case, new federal rulemaking, you are not required to take it in to have it serialized. Listen, for a more thorough discussion about this crazy rule involving frames and receivers, check out some of these videos that we have done right here. My name is William Kirk. I'm the president of Washington Gun Law, and you have been watching Bullet Points.